What is going on, guys? We are back. We're here with a brand new series here on the channel, our Pokemon Pearl Chesslocke. Now, this is a series that I'm very excited for. This is the only region that we have yet to beat in any series here on Leaf Green Gaming. We made it to Flint in our Brilliant Diamond Avatar lock. And then we did a giraffe lock with Annie Socks, and unfortunately he lost before we could actually get to the Elite Four. So I have yet to face Cynthia in a Gen 4 title on this channel, and I really need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off today's episode. We're going to pick our starter. We're going to get through these early routes, and we're going to see what we can do, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a really good position to be able to dominate this region. So if you guys are new to the Chesslocke, I will have the description down below for all the rules. It's pretty similar to the one that we just did. Basically, your king cannot faint under any circumstance. Your queen must be of the same egg group. And really after that, there are just specific rules based on the role that you're allowed to have. You're only allowed to have 2 rooks, knights, and bishops. All of them have very specific restrictions themselves. The rooks cannot have moves with secondary effects that negatively affect your opponent. We are going to allow moves like close combat that actually lower your attack stat or your defense stats, as long as they don't negatively impact your opponent. So like a high critical hit ratio actually is an effect on your opponent, but ones that are against you are not. So we're gonna play with the girl in this one. I feel like we play with the guys on a lot of them, so I want to start getting some series in with the girls. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna kind of say is our strategy for the rooks. They can't have negative effects on your opponents as secondary moves, so there's a chance to burn, they can't use it, things like that. Bishops can only use 2 attacking moves. You can put an HM on it if you need to. What am I gonna name this rival? You know what? Let's go with Annie Socks here. Why not? Let's just make sure that we get through this region together. Okay. So yeah, so what I was saying about the bishops can only use 2 attacking moves. You can choose those attacks though before you get into it. So like if I need to put fly or something onto it and I can't use that as a 3rd move, I just can't. It's just a dead move on the slot. Like I can have it on the Pokemon, I just can't use it in battle. Your knights have a limit of base 65 power as their max damage potential. Otherwise they have to use moves lower than that, so you can't use a base 70 attack or 6 or whatever, but you can use 65 or below. This is going to be kind of your knight, so they're not supposed to be the most powerful. They're supposed to be kind of be your frontline attackers and things like that. We really also need to get the wait, where's my settings options here? We need fast hex speed. That's crazy. Set and then we're playing Pearl, so why don't we get this playing Pearl, right? Should probably have like something like that. Perfect. And then yeah, and then you are allowed to have 8 pawns. So pawns must be capable of evolving into something else to be pawns, and they cannot evolve. It's basically what it is. So that is the strategy that we have implemented for us. But yeah, of course, this is a hardcore Nuzlocke as well. There is no use of potions and stuff in battle. You can put a Oranberry onto your Pokemon before the battle begins, and that's totally fine if it consumes that item, but you can't have potions in battle. Because YouTube is a part-time thing for me, I have a full-time job outside of this. For the sake of me being able to put a series out for you guys, I am going to be adding rare candies into the game, probably after this episode, so that we can do grinding and stuff through rare candies, rather than me spending hours and hours and potentially not being able to get the series out for you guys. So just a disclaimer on that. So there won't be any like things fainting in the wild, you know, off screen or anything like that. You're gonna see everything on screen. And then after that, I mean, it's really just your standard hardcore Nuzlocke, right? You know, the nice thing that I liked about the Chesslocke over some other just hardcore Nuzlockes that are out there, you know, that use rare candies, is the fact that your king and queen are still actually relatively main characters in your game. They are going to be around for every fight. Where like in other hardcore Nuzlocke, sometimes you see that like people will change their entire team to fight a specific gym leader, and sometimes you lose that like connectivity with the Pokemon. I find that because the king and queen are kind of like locked on your team, and you only have 2 rooks, 2 knights, like you can only switch them with each other. And so there is sort of kind of a, you have a main knight, like sort of kind of like our last series where like Hariyama was like basically in every gym battle, right? From the second gym, it was a core part of the team. We did see that our knights and bishops did change around quite frequently. And we ended up having a pawn that just ended up being really, really good for our team makeup. And it ended up being around a lot more, but the pawns are generally the ones that end up being like your HM users and things like that. So, don't go to the tall grass. We ain't listening to nobody. All right, so we're gonna pick up this briefcase and let's get ourselves our first encounter. In Generation 4, it feels a bit interesting, right? Because there are actually fairly good water type Pokemon available to you. There are also fairly good grass type available to you. Infernape is effectively the only fire type if you are going to be playing in Generation 4. Ponyta into Rapidash is absolutely painful. But we also have to take advantage of the fact that our king is, you know, depending on what our king is, directly influences what our queen is. In this game, there are basically no options for queens when it comes to Torterra that don't already have the same typing available, basically. Empoleon and Infernape are the two that actually have kind of different typings that are available to you. I think for this series, we're going to be playing with Infernape. When I did the Giraffe Lock with Socks, I ended up using both Torterra and Empoleon, and then when we did the solo one on this channel, we ended up using, what? Did I just pick Piplup anyways? Oh. So the fact that I picked Piplup anyways is actually hilarious. So we're choosing Piplup. Talk about how I wanted Infernape. We're choosing Piplup anyways. That's fine with me. We don't really need a fire type in this region anyways. So Piplup is here, and Piplup is going to be our king. I actually like it that it's the King Emperor Pokemon. So, you know what? Even though it wasn't my first choice, it is my second choice. We're Ash Ketchum out here. We don't get to pick the one we want. So, that is okay with me. So I am very, very happy with Piplup. Piplup is still fine. Piplup is great against the first gym. Makes our life a little bit easier, honestly. But yeah, so that is gonna be our choice. Water 1 and field typings are what we have options for. My opponent having, like, obviously with Socks having Torterra, technically we actually have an advantage here because we're going to be able to get Ice Beam pretty easily. And that should be a ×4 move, where they're not going to have a ×4 move. Water's going to be, grass is going to be neutral because we have Steel typing when we get fully evolved, and then Earthquake is super effective, but we have a ×4, and Steel is just one of the bulkiest types in the entire game, so I am perfectly fine with this. A little bit of a curveball right away, but it's quite okay. Yep. I heard from Lucas that you used our Pokemon. Let's see them, please. Piplup and Turtwig. That's how it is. Lucas, I'm going back to my lab. Yeah, of course. Professor, wait for me. You should visit our lab later, I think. We'll be seeing you. What was that craziness about? I mean, if he was angry, he could have just yelled at us or whatever, and he didn't want their Pokemon back? Leaf, we should go home too. Alright, go home. We can go home, that's fine. What's up, moms? What's up, dear? Wow, I can't believe that happened to you. Am I ever glad that both you and Annie Socks are unharmed? The professor you mentioned is most likely Professor Rowan of St. Jim Town. I heard that he's well known for his studies in Pokemon. I heard he's also quite intimidating. Leaf, if you think you need to go visit him in St. Jim Town, you need to properly explain why you had no choice but to use his Pokemon. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll understand. Oh, I know, Leaf, put these on. Yo, shout out to the running shoes early. Look at that. The power that is, what's it called? Oh my goodness. Why am I blanking on the word all of a sudden? What? Ease of... Man, I am just struggling. Oh wait, he already gone. What am I doing? He's already gone. Alright, let's get out of here. We do have a Pokemon, but we don't have, Pokeballs yet, so we're good just actually chilling here for a moment. There's a potion up there from the dude, right? So there's a Bidoof right here. Bidoof... I need to actually think about water Pokemon now that I have to think about it. I think we're most likely going to go with the field category, because I don't think we're gonna be in a good position otherwise. But we're gonna end up with probably a pretty bulky... That's a crit! Nice Piplup! There you go. Alright, there we go. We're good. Yeah, we'll just fight a couple trainers, get to level 6. We'll be good. Fine. Another male one. Okay. So thinking about what our options are, I'm gonna need to look this up. I'm gonna need to look it up. I don't know all the water type Pokemon that are available. Wait, Pokemon. Let me look this up real quick. Water 1 and Field Egg Group Pokemon available in Pokemon Pearl. Okay. So we have Weasel. We have Wooper. We have Psyduck. We have a Zoomer. No, a Zoomer's post game. And Bidoof, which we're not going to be using. We'll use it as a pawn, but we're not going with water types probably. There isn't a water type Pokemon that is available. There's gotta be... Wait. Let me see if I can fix the... Okay. So, if... Magikarp... I think is water 2, right? It's not water 1. Our field group, though, is gonna give us access to Shinx. Okay. Okay. So we have some options. We do have some options. I think Shinx is probably the strongest, though, right? But it has to be Intimidate to be the strong one, right? Okay, so we're gonna get to level 6. We'll be good. Yep. Give me this. Give me this! Thank you. So pick up that potion. Alright, so now that we're out of here... yep. Show me around. Okay, so in Water 1, we're gonna have access early game anyways to... I'm even just thinking about what's available, like, in general, right? Buizel's available pretty early. If we find a Buizel, I think Buizel's available, like, Valley Windworks kind of area. If we get that, that's probably a pawn, right? And probably a pretty strong one, like a physical attacking water type that we can do what we need to do. But Doof is probably a pawn as well, and it's probably an HM user, right? Right. King. Zubat is most likely... Zubat would most likely be a knight, right? Because it doesn't really get good moves or strong moves. Shinx and Starly. Shinx has potential to be a... Shinx has potential to be a queen for us if we get a female, but if it's male, it's probably a pretty good knight. Starly is probably a guaranteed knight. Just trying to think about things. Magikarp, I guess, technically could be a bishop, but then we're rocking with a lot of water types potentially, and that's kind of scary. So maybe we don't go fishing for a Magikarp anywhere. Abra is available as a Pokemon. That would be a pretty good bishop, probably. Being able... Bishop? Bishop? Yeah, Bishop makes the most sense, right? Because Bishop, it would be able to switch around Shadow Balls, Thunderbolt, things like that. Energy Ball. I genuinely think that Geodude is probably the best Rook available early game. And that would at least give us something. Who else would be like a fairly good Rook? Shellos is a fairly good Rook, but that's also another water type. What else is available early? Ponyta is probably having to... Ponyta would actually have to be probably a bishop because we would have no choice but to make it actually be offensive and be worth it. Unless we went with Ponyta straight up as a pawn. I guess it depends on how valuable we need fighting or fire types. I don't think fire is particularly useful afterwards, but it would be something that maybe we could... Does Rapidash get like U-turn and things like that? I don't even know if it does. Man, I'm just trying to think of anything that's available. Badoo into a Roselia. I don't know how effective it is to get a shiny stone in this game or a Dawn Stone. I think you get Dawn Stones well before you ever get a shiny stone, so maybe that's something to think about. Okay, so we still don't have Pokeballs, right? We're still just kind of chilling here in the wild here. So we'll have to come back to this route. But we need to talk to Moms. Mom's got to talk to him. Yep. Wow, Professor Rowan asked you to do something that big. Okay, dear, go for it. Just totally fine with it. 10 years old, go in the world. Have this little penguin with you. Yep. Yep. But you know what though? These penguins these days, they be mad, right? Because they get tariffed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Socks, thank you. Thanks, Socks' mom. Alright, okay, we got this parcel. We're gonna give it to Socks before we see him. Socks is one of them hard people to track down, you know? One of them hard people to track down sometimes, but let's get him. Let's go get him. Okay, so we don't have Pokeballs yet, so let's, wait. I don't have Pokeballs yet, right? No Pokeballs yet. We're good. Okay, so let's run over here. Bidoof, I think, is the only... Bidoof and Starly are the two encounters here. I am pretty sure... actually, we should probably be fighting these things, right? We also need to figure out what our nature is on our king here as well. Okay, that Starly looks like it does no type of damage. No type of damage whatsoever. Either we're good in defense or that Starly just has nothing. But I will accept. I think Starly is going to end up being a knight though, because I don't think that I'm going to be comfortable with close combat, and Brave Bird is a move pool. I think that's just asking for trouble. So let's go up here. Heal up. Make sure our king is taken care of. Make sure that boy nice and healthy. Make sure he thriving. And then let's keep going here. So, what is the nature of our dear king? A hasty nature. Hasty, I think, ups attack and lowers special defense or something like that. So, not great. But, because I think we're naturally our highest stat is special defense, right? So, not the greatest, but being a steel type, we should have some advantage over that. I can just go buy Pokeballs, but I'm going to wait on that. I'm just going to just purchase potions. I'm going to purchase 3 antidotes. And I'm going to purchase 3 paralyze heals. And then that way there, I can come back and buy Pokeballs later if I need to. But I want to be able to make sure that I can... Yep. Let's get this tutorial out the way. And there's really only 2 encounters right before the first city. So maybe we can try to make sure that we get our 2 encounters first. I want to raise the percentage that we get things that are not going to be duplicates anywhere. So, and Lucas ends up with the Chimchar out of all of us at the end of it. You better not turn into Barry. Barry, is that his name? From the anime? Throwing away Charmanders. Chimchars. Bro. Oh. Pokemon. Char seems to... Charmander. Chimchar. Cinder. I mean, I don't know. Fire types are hard. Fire types are hard. But anyways, congratulations on catching a Bidoof. Young Lucas. Anyways, give me Pokeballs, please. 5 Pokeballs, we're good. I think those 5 Pokeballs should be more than enough. So let's just run back real quick. Run back here real quick. Pick up our Route 201 encounter. And our 201 encounter is going to be a young Bidoof. It is female, so technically we could evolve it. Technically this can be a queen if we want it to be, but I really don't want it to be. So Bidoof. Okay. Tackle. Even a crit doesn't knock out here, so I think I'm okay to... Yeah, and then now that it's in the yellow, I'm not even gonna risk it. We're just gonna catch it. This young Bidoof, though... Stay in the ball, please. And I think this is just a free pawn, right? This is a Super Fang. This is definitely Super Fang support if we need it later, but this is cut, strength, surf, those kind of things early, which is really good. The plump mouse Bidoof is not a mouse. Bidoof is a beaver. What? Why are you a mouse? Why? Why are you a mouse? Okay. Bidoof is simple. Which means that if we go for Curse, we about to be able to evolve this pawn no problem. because we'll be able to go for like curse and like superpower and all these things. Maybe not superpower, but like we'll be able to go for some things and do a ton of damage. So I think I like that. As far as our Route 202 encounter though, I would love Shinx here. We're gonna get Starly, which is fine. Starly is probably our knight. Starly is most likely a knight for us. So a crit does KO, right? I probably don't even want to risk that, right? I probably want to just get in the ball. Yep. Okay. So Starly is captured. Another female Pokemon too, which is not bad. But I do think this needs to be a knight, because we're probably just gonna want to go for quick attack and aerial ace, because I'm not gonna want to go for close combat, Brave Bird, double edge. Right, although return is really powerful, fly is really good. Like there are situations that I'm gonna want it, but I just think that overall, I think that to keep this around, especially if it's gonna be like an intimidator kind of thing, I do think that I'm gonna want the longevity. So let's go with a knight. And now we have a knight and a pawn. And we're a lonely nature, which ups attack, right? But lowers defense or something like that. Like one of the two. But these two Pokemon are pretty good to start. So I think we're fine. I think we're in a good spot. We get a Shinx as the next encounter, but unfortunately we can't use it. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get access to a Shinx again, which is a little sad. But it's okay. Okay, let's get into this one fight here. We can probably make our way to the next city, right? We probably don't need to, like, back off here. Youngster Tristan sends out a Starly as well. Level 5? Oh, bro. We're in trouble. It's pretty much game over for us. We need a crit. And something fierce. Or you can go for Growl a million times and we'll be fine. But unless you throw, we actually probably just lost this king and lost this Nuzlocke already. Oh, you're gonna throw. Okay. Throwing is good. Throwing is fine. Ooh. Whoa, just throws all the way. We're good. Up. Through for the content. There you go. Okay, so we escape that with our lives barely. Get me to level 7, please. Thank you. Tristan. That's why you're the first trainer on this route, because get me to level 7, get me to back to full. Terrified. Absolutely terrified. Okay. So, fight this one. Natalie is 2 Pokemon. She has a Bidoof. Okay. Let's pound here. Okay. Okay, so a 3-shot here. We do miss the first... Does miss the first attack. Okay. Perfect. First one down and out. And we should get to level 8 after this, yeah? Level 8 feels like a reasonable spot. And this is another 3-shot. So let's just keep it rolling. That was a crit. There's no more battles, yeah? We're good after this? So, what am I gonna need to do? We're gonna need to get rare candies in. Get everybody up probably to level, like, 9 or 10, right? Level 8 for our young king. Who wants to learn Bubble? There we go. So now that I have Bubble, Bubble gives me a nice opportunity. Oh, there is another battle here. Interesting. Back-to-back Shinxes. Although the first Shinx that we saw didn't have Intimidate. I probably need to be cautious here because I don't have any other Pokemon. So let's just keep up. And then let's keep going. Have a Pokemon battle. Sure. Youngster Logan sends out a Shinx. This Shinx shouldn't have electric moves yet. We should be fine. This one doesn't have Intimidate either. So it has Rivalry. Is that what they get early? Rivalry? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so our king takes everybody out on the way up to the first route. Almost gets a whole other level. Almost gets to level 9 out of that. That's crazy. Oh. Another battle. A second Starly. Okay. I don't think that I need to fight you at all. I think we're probably just good to run away. And there is an item here. Let's grab it. Or I'll just run into every Pokemon alive. We're level 4 Starly. Ooh, we're getting some levels now on these boys. Alright, run here. And, yeah. So now we pick up this potion. What I think we're going to do is probably wrap up today's episode right here. So thanks everyone for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you really liked it. And see you guys